Daily manifesting on my premonitions. Best to keep it neutral, got my own religion. The brainwash, gotta make your own decision. My word is James Bond, I stay on a mission. Coming for the top position, ain't no competition, man. Pull up in the top is missing, fuck the opposition, and all that lane switching, this is what the game missing. It's the young, incredible, honestly unforgettable. You a Joe like Chappelle show, this so perennial. Do this for my millennials, I be murdering any flow. I just had to let you know. It's the young, incredible, honestly unforgettable. You a Joe like Chappelle show, this so perennial. Do this for my millennials, I be murdering any flow. I just had to let you know.
Appreciate you, Coach. Well, later tonight in November, snowfall is forecasted to hit the Twin Cities, but right now, calm outside, and, of course, a calm day inside U.S. Bank Stadium in Minneapolis. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Detroit Lions and the Minnesota Vikings. The NFL season has hit high gear, and off we go in Week 11 on EA Sports. This is taken about 7 yards deep, and no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line.
Here we go, 50, Mike 50. You must be getting tired of seeing me. Coach, 734. Hey, Charlie.
On 1st and 10, here's Carr. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. A bad start there, a big loss on their first play from scrimmage. It's 2nd down.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19.
637. Hey, team 6. Team 6. It's going to be a long day, offense. It's going to be a long day. Both to Mike.
Carr. And on the left sideline, he caught it, but out of bounds, according to the head linesman. Incomplete, so the ball a little late getting there, and it's 3rd down. That pass just a little bit off. It looked like maybe he tried to force it in there.
Game speed, always different, no matter what you do in practice. You can't simulate it, right? So your decision-making, everything has to be a little bit quicker. Sometimes it can throw you off until you adjust.
47 to Mike, boy, 47. Check, 47. Watch the run.
Throwing on 3rd and long. Carr. And he'll find Galladay. That's complete. They give him 27 yards on the 3rd down conversion. A great job pulling that one in from a guy, as we know, who can really blaze. He's got a lot of speed.
And that speed can work for him so many different ways. Sometimes he just takes off and goes and just runs past people. Sometimes you get people to back off so far that you can catch everything underneath. But still, at some point in the game, you probably have to make some contested catches, right? Sometimes you have to go up and beat a defender for the football. He has that in his arsenal as well.
Showed it right there. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down. Great change up there on the route and got that inside release, made it a successful pitch and catch.
Well, the first thing you want to do is have him thinking that you're going outside, make a move in that direction. Then you really don't run the route against the whole body of the defender. You run against a half of him, and the inside half, and he took it right across his face, got inside, and won that route in a big way.
To throw again on 2nd down. Carr, he completes it to Julio Jones. Coming into the week, he's the NFL's leader in receiving yards. There's his first catch, and it's good for a 1st down.
While sometimes it doesn't appear like much, the out route can be very dangerous when you throw it to a guy like Julio Jones. If you try and undercut it, he can turn into a big play. But the reason he's able to get it so often is because of his ability to push people deep, and they have to respect that.
From Viking territory now, they'll come up 1st and 10 at the 45-yard line. Now the former 4th-round pick, it's Kalen Ballage. And he's able to get this one down to about the 40. Marcus Davenport there to take him down.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down, a very solid gain on that play.
Mike, 55. Check, 55. Mike, Monday down. Bravo.
From the 40 now on second down. Carr, he's going to loft, and he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Detroit. Julio Jones with his 16th touchdown of the year, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. Extra point up and good by Sanders, and that makes the score 7-0. Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And there is a flag as he's brought down right at the 25-yard line. But who's this going to be against? So the face mask gets him a free 15 to start the drive.
Ready? Check nickel, nickel, nickel.
Now Prescott. Man open, that's Deebo Samuel. He's at the 30. 10. Touchdown, Vikings. Deebo Samuel, his second touchdown on the season, as his guys are on the board here in this first quarter. And sometimes those slants, they can be so tough to defend after the catch. It just happens so quickly.
And really, what gets set up there is how quickly everything happens. Ball's out of the hands of the passer in a hurry, and he just takes it and goes.
And he went all the way into the end zone. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
He got 29 yards that time.
We can talk all we want about football being a game of strength and brawn. It's also a game of mismatches, and they're trying to create one there, getting it to their back out of the backfield to make a bigger play.
As we often say, get it to him in space, let him use his leg.
Yeah, if he can get a matchup against a linebacker or maybe a defensive end dropping out in a zone blitz, he's going to win that battle just about every time.
Now Carr, he's going to fire one deep over the middle. And that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's second down.
The positioning here is key. As a defensive back, you're taught 99% of the time, make a play on the football. But in this case, making a play on the man was all the difference. That's what forced the incompletion.
Now Carr, after the incomplete pass, brings him up 2nd and 10.
Hey, 7:34. Mike Football. Who's right, Chief? You check 15.
To throw again. Carr. Throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete. The intended target, T.J. Hawkinson, and it's 3rd down.
When I watched that play, I thought about what my coaches had told me in the past. The biggest teaching point, get your head around. Locate the football so you can make a play on it while it's in the air. That's exactly what he did there. That was nice.
Yeah, let's get sack lunch.
Throwing his Carr on 3rd down. Incomplete. He had his hands on it but couldn't pick it. But it's now 4th down.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
A 41-yard punt, 9 on the return. And the Vikings will be backed up deep to begin their drive as they take over 1st and 10. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. And to be frank, they're just in a tough spot. It's only November, already eliminated from playoff contention. I know their fan base doesn't want to hear that, but that's the case. What are they fighting for now going forward?
You know exactly what they're fighting for. Is that word that some people don't want to hear, but it's pride.
Draft. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I was going to go draft, but pride's better, right?
You know something? You're right, because that's part of it, but that's two different mindsets. That's front office mindset, draft position, where are we going to be and what do we need to get? And then the players and the coaching staff right now, pride. Can they win some games and feel better about themselves despite the fact they have no shot at the playoffs?
Had the completed pass, but for no gain, stopped right at the line, so it's 2nd and 10. This a quick pass to Davis. 27 yards there, a first down.
I like watching the wide receiver screen because it's a real teamwork play. Because guess what? The guy catching the ball, he'll get all the credit. But how about the people up to block in front of him, either fellow receivers or offensive linemen? That makes that play a really nice timing play, and sometimes it can break big.
That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on first down.
40's Mike. 40's Mike. Let him know, let him know. Let him know, let him know.
Here we go, going to 54, Ryan. Here we go, kill. Here we go, going to 54, Ryan.
Now on 2nd and 13. Prescott firing quickly here, and that's complete. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets them up for 3rd down.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
3rd and short yardage. Prescott. Man open. It's Moss, complete. And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. It's a gain of 11 as the Vikings pick up the first. Prescott now already over 100 yards passing in just this first quarter. It's 1st and 10.
Here we go, 47.
These two teams all tied after one. Prescott going to come up 1st and 10. And he's a perfect 5 for 5 here to begin the game.
Hey, 47.
Now Prescott. And the coverage terrific there as that's knocked out and incomplete.
Well, partner, so much for the mismatch. How about the guy at the second level, that big linebacker, able to run with the receiver and make a play on the football?
From the 34, they'll come to the line on 2nd and 10.
Check it back.
Peterson. A minimal gain there on the 8th play of the drive.
They did a really nice job there defensively. They strung the play out, didn't give him a cutback lane. On each play, you have guys what I call our BCR players. Guys are responsible for the bootleg, for the cutback, and for the reverse. They played that one perfectly.
And rode him right out of bounds. On 3rd down, it's Prescott. And that will be incomplete.
They went with a dime look on defense. 2 extra defensive backs on the field and covered up essentially every blade of grass. That allowed them to disrupt the play.
And his kick here is good. And they take the lead here now at 10-7. So in the end, they had the ball for 10 plays, but the drive gets them 3, not 6.
Is it okay if I give credit to both sides on this one?
Absolutely.
All right, let's start defensively. They hung in there. 10-play drive, but they stiffened when they got close to the goal line, made them kick a field goal. And for the offense, 10-play drive. They might be a little disappointed they got a field goal, but they moved the ball down the field with dispatch and came away with points.
You're mine. Hey, echo.
50's the mic. 50's the mic.
Hey, watch the lane. 29. 50.
Throwing on 1st down is Carr. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Marcus Davenport able to record his 5th sack of the season. And we say it all the time, have to be able to get rid of the ball sooner than that.
You have to help your offensive line out. They're going to protect you as best they can. And if you're getting 3 to 5 seconds to throw the ball, they're doing a really nice job. But when you hold it and give up a sack, you're really almost discrediting their work.
Throwing on second and long. Carr. And on the left sideline, he caught it, but out of bounds, according to the head linesman. Incomplete. So the ball a little late getting there, and it's third down. And Charles, got to like what this defense has been able to do these last couple of plays.
Yeah, they get the sack on first down, then they force the incomplete pass. Now they're just a play away from getting the football right back, but it's a big play. They've got to hold up. On third and long, it's Carr. Throwing deep for Galladay. And that'll wind up incomplete. Bold play call there. Now it's fourth down. It's always a goal, and it's really nice defensively when you can rally to the football and make sure there's enough contact to force an incompletion.
Force an incompletion and force another punt. On is the punt team now as this one's sent away. And taken right on the 30. A big kick that time, 52 yards. And the Vikings will take over here, 1st and 10. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had the field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3, except in certain situations, trying to ice a game, that sort of deal. Most of the time, it's end zone, and that's what you're thinking, and I believe that's exactly what they're thinking as they begin this one.
Yeah, no quarterback ever goes out there saying, hey, let's get 3, right?
Not one that I've ever met.
Prescott on first down. And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. Justin Houston making his presence felt there in the backfield.
Well, the pass rush has been a real strength of late. They know how to get after the quarterback.
Absolutely. 4 sacks last week. That's their first one here. Anything in particular you've seen from them or on film?
I think that they're winning athletically up front, winning those one-on-one battles, but also when the offensive line wants to keep everyone in and mass protect, they know how to scheme their way back to the quarterback as well.
It'll be a 5-yard pickup there, so from 2nd and 13, they're back to a more manageable 3rd and 8.
Here we go, 47. Go right in. Watch the run. Switch.
Prescott from the gun. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off near the 26. And his guys are going to get the football at the 28-yard line.
Well, this is a defense that can confuse even the best of quarterbacks with their zone schemes. And here you've got a linebacker that's going to stay at home and just sit down in that zone. And this one basically comes right to him.
47 is the mic.
Heavy.
Now after the INT, it's Carr. Looking downfield for Joe. Well, this is taken in. It's complete. Touchdown, Detroit. Julio Jones with his 2nd touchdown here in this first half. And the Lions are going to jump back in front.
Well, this is exactly where I expect teams to take a shot. Right after a turnover, you count on the defense being a little bit jumbled coming out on the field, maybe catch them back on their heels, and that's exactly what they did there. They threw it downfield and really created a big play.
Yeah, you said jumbled. They were the definition of jumbled defensively. One play and into the end zone.
Let's go.
The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the inning, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
From the 24. Prescott eluded, and he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Trey Flowers. It'll go as a loss of about 8 as he gets in there to drop him.
Well, competition comes up in so many different ways. And right now, this unit, their competition is who's going to get to the quarterback the most times. Had about 5 sacks last week, and we just saw their first one of this game.
To throw is Prescott. Throw left outside, complete to Moss. And they work this well upfield across the 45. 30 yards there, and of course the first down as well. The big play has them all the way out near midfield for a 1st and 10. They run, Peterson. And very little running room there. He did get a couple up to the 49.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
Throw left side complete. It's Moss. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down. Two minutes remaining in this first half of football. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from game. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked up by Delano Hill. And the return stops just a little bit shy of midfield at the 48-yard line.
So that's back-to-back drives where they're throwing an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
44, Mike, 44. Express. Hey, Haywood. 44 to Mike.
Carnow on 1st down. Complete to Jones. And he's able to get this to the 40-yard line before he's out of bounds. He'll get a dozen there, and the Lions have a 1st down. Carnow closing in on a 200-yard first half through the air. It's 1st and 10. Now a handoff looking right. And he gets this to the 35. Good for a gain of 5.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments and doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the 2nd level.
And he'll give it here to his running back. And not much running room. Down to the 32. And again this time to the tailback. And he's going to have the 1st down yardage as he's down at about the 30-yard line. 2 yards and able to get the 1st down in the process. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Now they'll throw with Carr. Caught by Jones. And he'll go down here right around the 23-yard line. The Lions will use the first of their timeouts as they stop it here with just under 40 ticks to go in this first half. Able to get 7 on that 1st down pass play. 2nd and 3. Here's Carr to throw. He's going to let it go deep for the end. And this is going to be intercepted. Jonathan Abram picks it. They are in an interception mood on defense. Had 2 nice interceptions a week ago. Now 2 here in the first half.
Yeah, we call it ball hawking. And the only way to truly be good ball hawks is not guessing. It's not just simply anticipation. It's study and understanding what they like to do and beating them to the spot and creating big plays.
They're watching the film, and it's working. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts as they stop it with 28 seconds to go in the first half of play. 2nd and 9 now from the 21.
Kill. Check safety.
They'll keep it on the ground again here. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. Now the Vikings will use the 2nd of their timeouts as the stoppage will come with 23 seconds to go till halftime. On 1st and 10, Prescott trying to lay one up deep. And that is incomplete. 16 seconds now on the clock. I know he wants to get his team back in the game, but a 50-50 ball right there that maybe was a little questionable.
Yeah, he's pretty lucky to get that one back. I think that sometimes these quarterbacks play with a lot of confidence that borders on arrogance, and that can put your team in some duck.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Now a timeout signaled for, and they'll get it with 10 seconds to go before halftime.
10 yards on the play. It's now third down.
Not wanting to risk another sack, they'll play it safe with a run. And they'll indeed stop him on third down. And now what do you want to do with your timeouts? And they're going to take a timeout defensively. So with fourth down coming up, they go ahead and burn it and say we'll see what happens. And likely time for one final play here in the half, so they will go for it on fourth down.
Four down. Check 91. 91 is to Mike. Mike 91.
Final play of the half. Prescott. That'll be caught over the middle by Moss. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. So we've reached halftime here in a 4-point game. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach, the Lions in the lead, and they're going to get the football first as well as the second half is underway. And he will be brought down here at about the 17-yard line. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. They're close game, but they're going to need to do a little bit better probably here in half two, no?
I would agree with that totally. I would guess it in the locker room. They talked about cleaning up some of the errors, but overall I think they wanted to be positive with them. Guys, we're right there. Just not playing as well as we need to. Let's pick it up, and we still have a chance to win this game.
Yeah, they do. We'll see if they can pick it up. The throw over the middle taken in. And they nearly get this all the way to midfield. Mark him down at the 49. A gain of 32 that time. The big play has him all the way out near midfield for a 1st and 10. Now Peterson. And they go backwards here, losing yardage back at the 48-yard line. It's a loss of a yard there, and it's second down.
Brings up 2nd and 11.
On 2nd and 11 now. Prescott is going to find his running back. It's complete. And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 47. That backs him up 1 yard and brings up third down. The last two plays each lose a yard. They'll try to move forward here on 3rd and 12.
What you got, Heavy? Give me some. Give me some.
47.
Check 91. Mike 91. They gonna need some therapy after this.
26.
From the shotgun, it's Prescott. He's going to wind up and air it out. And that is incomplete.
Well, this at least is the right idea. I think they've got to get the tight end more involved.
He had just one target in the first half, incomplete. Now incomplete here with the first target of the second half.
Yeah, should not stop them at all from going back to him, though. Find him. Find him.
And this will be down just inside the 30-yard line.
At their own 29-yard line.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. They were able to get the ball back here, didn't surrender any points. Now they'll look to add to that lead.
And how about the boost the defense gave them? Going right out on the field, shutting them down, not giving up.
He's got a man, complete. Touchdown, Detroit. Third touchdown pass now for Derek Carr. And the Lions are able to extend their lead.
Hey, when you're thinking about your opening drive in the third quarter, you're thinking about exactly that, putting together a drive. But instead, what did we get?
Big pass downfield, touchdown. I thought, okay, just sitting back in my chair, let's get eased in, a couple runs. No, boom.
Yeah, forget the body blows, folks. Let's throw the big shot right now.
And he's able to get it across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down at the 21-yard line. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. They'll look to make some inroads here, trailing 21-10 as they come up on a 1st and 10. Here's Prescott toward the left sideline, but it's incomplete. Deebo Samuel was the intended receiver, and now it's second down.
All right, that one fell incomplete there, but the best quarterbacks, they'll miss on 40% of their throws somewhere in that neighborhood, similar to a great hitter in baseball. He's going to fail 7 out of 10 times and still have a great year. In this case, you want perfection, but way better that it hits the ground instead of going to an opposite color jersey.
It's a gain of 11 as the Vikings pick up the first. Prescott now, 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10. Now throwing on first down and completing it. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 10 yards, and it's good for a Viking first down.
Watch the crowd. We're going to 53. Slant.
1st and 10 at the 43-yard line.
We're going to 54. Why 20.
First down, Prescott. Open man is Samuel, complete. A gain of 6 there on first. 6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. To the air again, Prescott. That's going to be caught by Samuel. And he'll get it down to the 47 here. 4 yards the pickup, first down.
A little football 101 there. You just see the receiver try to run down the defender, meaning he goes right at him and really trying to move him a little bit towards the center of the field so he can put his foot in the ground and break to the out, to the sideline, and make a catch.
So the ball moves into Lion territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 47. Prescott. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Darius Slay with a pick. Keep in mind, he had the 3-interception game last week, so we requested to talk with him this week. He was all smiles. He's still all smile.
Yeah, we didn't jinx him at all, did we? No. Because ordinarily that happens. Things fall off, but not in this case. I think a lot of it goes back to his technique. His ability to see the quarterback throw the ball while understanding where the receiver is running his route allows him to make a lot of plays on the football, and he's taking it away at a really high rate.
Now Carr, after the incomplete pass, brings him up 2nd and 10.
Low. 637. Check. Hey, Alpha.
Throwing again. Carr. Got an open man. It's Ratley. And he takes this one in for a Lions touchdown. Make it 4 touchdown passes now for Derek Carr. And the Lions use the short field to their advantage as they cash in for 6. Extra point up and good by Sanders. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And 3 interceptions in this game. And I would have to think, I wasn't a quarterback, but number 4 is kind of, you're like, oh, man, I can't throw 4.
No, what's interesting is, what do the coaches decide to do now? Having thrown 3, do you alter your offensive strategy? Do you take the ball out of his hands and maybe turn to the running game? Or do you have that supreme confidence that he's going to turn things around?
We'll see what they do. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield.
Well, if these guys are going to chop into that deficit, they're going to have to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage, no yardage to be found.
Prescott now. And under the Lions' pressure, he's brought down. Deshaun Hand able to record his 5th sack of the season.
I think we've seen this before. Someone's down 3 scores. That situation there, it's just going to add to their growing frustrations, don't you think?
Yeah, a bad number 3 right now. 3-score game, 3rd quarter, 3 and out, not what they wanted. And you can tell on the sideline, those faces are getting a little bit longer as this one goes. A terrific return there, 27 yards all told. And the Lions will have excellent field position here as they take over 1st and 10.
Here we go, D. Hey, it's just me and you. It's just me and you.
On 1st down, Carr. Jones has it. And they're able to get this one past the 30 to the 25-yard line. They'll get 17 that time, and the Lions have a first down. Well, there's your leading receiver in the NFL in terms of yardage, putting on another clinic, well over 100 yards.
Are we taking notes? We should be, right? Because I'm going to go back and watch this tape and really enjoy what I'm seeing. The route running, competing for the football, just breaking down a defense.
Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
So now then, the penalty's got him set up with a first and goal. And he goes backwards on this one, losing yardage to the 7. That's going to go as a loss of 1 on first down.
Hey, Foxtrot.
On second and goal, Carr, the quick slant caught, and he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Detroit. Kenny Galladay with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Lions are able to extend their lead. Extra point up and good by Sanders. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders. That's fielded in the end zone. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here.
Watch the screen. Watch the screen.
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off at the 25. And he will score. Touchdown, Lions. Defensively, they've had their way in this one. That pick 6 makes that scoreboard even more lopsided.
I remember talking with a guy in the league, and I said, what do you do when the game's like this? You know, it's pretty much over. You ready to go to the bench and hang out? He said, oh, heck no. I want to stay on the field. I might get some stats. I might get a pick or 2.
You like being out there at the end of these wide margins.
When they have to throw it, that gives you more opportunities to go get it.
That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And they just had that pick 6. I guess the only positive maybe them returning that for a touchdown. This offense right back out onto the field to try to make up for it.
I like that because now it doesn't give them a chance.
And my goodness, another interception. Picked by Tracy Walker. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. We find ourselves here in the midst of a one-sided affair. A lot of fill time down the stretch, Mr. Davis.
So we could talk about food because that is something that you and I both enjoy. We enjoy our time at the table. So maybe the best steakhouses in the city, but in all seriousness, the performances that we've seen this year, we've seen a bunch of great ones. And it's going to be hard to parse who's going to win the MVP.
Yeah, it really is.
Is it going to be a runner? Is it going to be a thrower? Can a defender finally win it this season? Those are the things that we could probably discuss.
And collectively, this is about as dominant of a performance as you could have hoped for on both sides of the football.
Might have to put it number 1 for what we've seen this season.
Throwing his car on 3rd down. And unable to connect. Incomplete. I'll give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down. 4th quarter, you've got the big lead. If you're coaching, Charles, you still taking shots like that downfield?
I'd be a little more concerned with running some clock and making sure you're taking care of the lead because you keep flinging it around, you throw a couple of picks, you can put yourself in jeopardy. The
Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. And last time wasn't pretty. One play and an interception. We'll see if they can do better.
I want to see the run.
And the Lions pressure too strong. Down he goes. And the job becomes twice as difficult now after the sack. It's 2nd and 20. Back to throw. That's Samuel, caught left side. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means they have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden a secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
A critical one here if they're going to have any shot at this thing. So they'll go for it on 4th down.
6 guys. Check 6 guys.
As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. And he's going to be brought down here in the backfield. Trey Flowers, and the Lions will get the football back in terrific field position.
Down. 180. Mike 27. Watch the run. Watch the run. Later 8. 618.
Carr now on 1st down. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 12. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Go. 70, Indy.
They'll come out throwing here on 1st down. Room here to run. And he will bring it back. An interception return for a Lions touchdown. Charles, we've seen them target one of their main weapons time and time again. Maybe they went to that well too many times there.
Yeah, and it's so difficult to determine how many times is too many because how many times have we seen a team go and play and say, until they stop us, we'll keep going. Well, they got stopped on that one, and it cost them 6 points.
That'll be taken in the end zone. And he probably should have stayed in the end zone as he'll muster a return up to only the 14-yard line.
In this position, trying to get back into the game, teams are looking for a spark from their special teams. That's not what they got, though. They got a setback, and they have a long field to cover if they want to try and put points on the board.
Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete.
Let's go. 15.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10.
Hey, Charlie, let's go.
2nd and 10. And he's going to go down. Back at his own 5-yard line, it's a sack. Trey Flowers in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year. The Vikings on 3rd down. Not so hot. 2 for 9 to this point. This is 3rd and 17. They'll set up a throw. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked by Tracy Walker, and his guys will take over at the 25-yard line. The rookie was trying to push it downfield, but the safety bit him.
And he'll learn that you have to hold the safety. And you do that with your head movement, your eyes, sometimes your shoulders. Hold the safety so that you can get back to the throw that you really want to make. He got so excited thinking his guy was open that he made it easy for the defensive back to go get the football.
7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3. So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3. Again, it's Balaj. And they'll bring him down at the 13-yard line. A gain of 5, good enough for the 1st down.
And that's the type of run that you'll live with. In this game, he's had a good number of carries. He's just been unable to really break off anything substantial.
Watch the run. Hey, 734.
Bang, bang. Recon, 132 fighter.
694. Watch safety creeping. Safety's creeping. 47.
Carr now on 1st down. to the end zone, but knocked away and incomplete. They're still throwing the football here. Now, obviously, the incompletion stops the clock. That's a bad thing.
Feels to me like they're just keeping them honest on defense because you know they're going to stack the line of scrimmage and try and stop any type of a running play. Short little passes may work in exchange of running plays. Keep the clock moving, keep them moving.
Yeah, I guess you're right. If they can get some first downs, just as good as running the football. Now a handoff here to his running back. And he'll be taken down here at about the 11. 2 yards on the carry there, and it's going to lead him to third down. This defense against the run, by the way, they're not top 5, but they are top 10.
So what's your philosophy here? Do you try and run the ball against a team that's pretty good against the run? What if you're a pretty good running team? If so, you might want to go ahead and run it anyway because that's your strength.
Now Carr. And this will be caught. And the carnage continues. It's another touchdown. And for them, this train, it just keeps rolling, doesn't it? Well on their way to yet another victory.
Yeah, it's almost a runaway, isn't it? And you just wonder how anyone could stop this. They got full momentum going, full confidence going. But it's not just their own confidence that is leading them. It's the lack of confidence against their opponents now because they see them coming and think, we've got no shot to beat this team.
That'll be taken in the end zone. And he probably should have stayed in the end zone as he'll muster a return up to only the 14-yard line.
In this position, trying to get back into the game, teams are looking for a spark from their special teams. That's not what they got, though. They got a setback, and they have a long field to cover if they want to try and put points on the board.
Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. Going up top. And he's going to be intercepted a third time. Picked by Tracy Walker, and they get the football. They'll set up shop at their own 49-yard line. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. We've got a lopsided game here. Which I don't know, Charles. What does the handbook say that we discuss when we've got a game like this in the fourth quarter?
Hold on a second. Let me thumb to the proper page on that. Know what it says?
What?
Let's discuss how we got here. This is a dominant performance, where they took control of this game, how they've managed to keep control of this game, and then we go ahead and think about how we're going to leave here and get to the airport. In a lopsided blowout, the roads are usually open.
They'll stay on the ground. Balaj again. And he'll go down shy of the 40 at the 41. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a first down. Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. Now they try the right side here. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves them with a 2nd and 3.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. I can just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there, I'm going to tackle this guy. By the 4th quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down 4th quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
And inside the 20 before he's brought down. He'll get 17 that time, and the Lions have a first down.
They brought in the heavy set on 3rd down, and that usually means running play, but we have seen them throw out of that formation, and sure enough, they snuck the tight end out on that one, wound up hitting him for a first down.
And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it 2nd down.
A gain of 4. It's now 2nd and 6 at the 14-yard line. Today's final score.
Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feeling like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for Detroit, they keep on rolling 10-0 now to start the year. And now they'll have the short week ahead as they'll host their annual Thanksgiving Day game on Thursday. Meanwhile, for Minnesota, they're going the wrong way as this will drop them to 3-7 now on the year. And they'll look to get back on track next week as they travel to Denver to take on the Broncos. So for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Next game, guess what? Charles and I will be here again. It's the